Welcome back, friends, to Live at the Roxy. It's another hot mess kind of day for your girl, Rox. But luckily, I have the hottest and the least messy of all the people with us today. Trisha Hershberger in the house.
The most messy. You're like, luckily I had this also hot mess.
No, you're just like everything you do is perfect, and you're like, oh, are things messy over here? And I look, and I'm like, you're killing it in life. Like I can barely figure out how to put a ponytail in anymore. It
No,
hurts my
ma'am.
head. Like it feels like a constant burning in the hair department. Whatever it is, you've got it together. You got it going on. Although you did show me you've been doing some shoots from home. You got a little bit of a
A
situation. I
little
don't know.
behind the scenes over here. So this wall that's behind me right now, if everybody can see, is my normal backdrop for the Naked Truth on YouTube and for all my live streams and stuff like that. But you're seeing it very up close and personal because where I would normally be sitting to do this is now taken up with a camera and a bunch of lights and a bunch of other stuff, which is why I'm not at my normal setup right now because I am currently filming a video series that I do for Kingston. That's what I'm filming today. And it's a good time, but like you can just look at what a hot mess my office is over here. Yeah.
Honestly, all I see is impressive. All I see is, wow, look at
No.
all her equipment. Look at all the things she can do.
Look at all that unorganized equipment that's like smushed in the same shelf with like a Legolas figurine and some random cosplay stuff just hanging there haphazardly.
When I
It's a
look to
hot
my
mess.
right, there is an empty ramen wrapper on the ground in what like didn't make it into the trash bag, and two sets of slippers. So that's what's next to me. So I think that you've got it all set. You mentioned Naked Truth, and I have to ask you this off the bat. I've never asked you this, and I've just been thinking about it. How do you do that?
What do you mean,
What
how do I do it?
how do you are you there's nothing like I've never seen a slip. I've never seen anything. How do you do it?
Okay, so you're gonna laugh. But this legit started when I was first starting out on the internet, and I was told that like no one would believe that I actually was knowledgeable about certain fandom things because I looked too feminine presenting. And
How
this was
dare you?
how dare I, right? So they were like,
Mhm.
you have to like dye your hair a funny color, get like a piercing, and wear these fake glasses because at the time I was young and my eyes were wonderful and I didn't need glasses. I'm old now. This is what happens. But yeah, and like trying to put me in this kind of box of like, this is what you have to do to be a nerd. And it made me so mad that I would go home and like just get in the shower from the day to like get like rinse off the good yuck of the day. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And then just get out of the shower and be like, you know what? Just like this, I can still like all the stuff that I like, and I can still be knowledgeable about all the stuff that I'm knowledgeable about with no makeup, no hairstyle, no clothing or anything image wise to brand me a certain way. I can just be me the way that I am, and that's fine. So like legit, it started out, and at least for the first couple of years, was I would get out of the shower, sit down at my computer, and record it. And that's how it would go. And it was always pre-recorded. So like there's no slips or anything because I would
Right.
edit it if there were. Now I do it live. And it's not always right out of the shower because now I have to juggle the responsibilities of having a tiny human. So as soon as I get a free window to record it, I record it. Like the leisurely time to shower and think about things first doesn't exist in my life anymore. But now I do it with, it's a locked off shot. It's a locked off shot and it doesn't even come close. Like it's kind of like what you're looking at right now.
Well,
So in order
I
for
watch
there
a
to be
lot, but it's like girl, I feel like you are so still. If you watch throughout the show, like this is me. I'm so antsy and jiggly. Like there's no way I'd be able to. I mean, it's one of my favorite things because I think it's such a flawless idea. And also I've struggled with similar things being told at the beginning. Nobody's going to take you seriously. Nobody believes that you like comics. Nobody cares about your opinion on Marvel or DC or Star Wars or anything like that. Look a certain way, dye your hair, literally all those same things. So when I see your show, I'm like, this girl is so brave and so smart, and I love it. But every time I'm like, I do not have the control to not wiggle.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like it's like pretty much cut off here. So like I can still move and nothing's gonna happen. I mean, it's gonna happen if I'm like, hey, let me stand up and get, like that's when it's going to happen. But as long as I'm seated, I'm fine. There have been times actually that I like brought my knee up in a frame and people thought it was somehow a boob, which is funny. There have also been times that like, because I used to do it right out of the shower, my hair was wet, that like one of my like shorter layers would be like, I don't know, here or something, and cast a shadow that people were like,
Ooh, sexy shadow. Yeah.
Because I always cut it here. I'm like, dude, if you think my boobs are perky enough that my nips are all the way up here,
Good for you.
Good for me. And they're not, sadly.
I know that this probably isn't your logic, but my thought process would kind of be also, this is what I've always thought before about like anytime anybody's nudies have been released or anything. For me, if anything ever got released of me, if there was ever a naked picture that got released of me or something, that's the worst you could do to me. I'm very proud of myself. I work pretty hard on my body, but like, so I've done enough right in my life that the worst thing you could do is have a naked picture of me. We all got it. We all got a body. So I don't know.
We all do, and I bet yours is better than most. So if you're like, hey, you know what? Too bad.
Look at who I'm talking to. Look at who I'm freaking talking to. I don't know how you manage. Like you are the body of all bodies. But that is not the only thing we were talking about today. Although I'm glad that I got to ask you that, because for so long I've been thinking, how is she doing that? I didn't know if there was like pasties going on.
When do you want to come guest on The Naked Truth?
Like literally anytime.
Okay, I do it when I haven't done a guest episode in ages. In fact, I haven't done a guest episode since I made it live. Because I don't know how many people would be down to guest live. Some of my prior guests would be down to guest live.
What do I do to make sure?
You just lock off your shot.
I know I'll mess. I will be the one person, but okay, who cares? Who cares?
I had Greg Miller on the show from Kind of Funny. Mm-hmm. He intentionally sat like really back far from the camera, so you got like man chest,
everything going on
the whole time. So funny.
My shot was like cheer up. This is me.
Yeah, you frame it however you're comfortable in your house. That's the whole thing, is like the show, because people are like, oh, can you have a guest so that like people can be naked together? And like, not the point of the show. The point of the show is being comfortable in your own skin, in your own space. So everyone's in their own space.
What, they want you to have like a naked party at your house and just everybody come over and all right.
I guess.
To each their own, I guess. To each their own.
To each their own. No, it's about you being as uniquely you as you can be, which in my opinion means you in your own space. Really.
Yeah.
Everybody in their own space.
I spend a lot of naked time. I live by myself. So what are clothes for?
Who needs pants? Quarantine. Who needs pants?
I saw somebody tweet today, if you are wearing jeans, I think it was actually Drew Barrymore. If you're wearing jeans right now, why? Who are you trying to impress?
Me, because I'm shooting for King.
Oh, okay.
I'm actually shooting videos.
You don't count. It's the people right now in their house that are wearing jeans around. Instead of, I would show you my fuzzy socks, but I'm really kind of tired of my feet ending up on the internet. And every time they are seeing.
Ooh, how's your wiki feet, girl?
It's fine. I have a 5-star rating. So I just like want you to know that about me. I put that in every resume I have.
Oh, I feel like these are jokes that only people who work on the internet think are funny. I'm sorry, everyone watching, but to any women that have ever been on the internet in any way, you will probably find wiki feet funny.
I have a friend who's new to this space. Her name is Steph Sabra, and she's amazing and nerdy and super Star Wars geek and just awesome. And I texted her the other day and I was like, she's awesome. You'd love her and she'd love you. But I said, congratulations. And she was like, why? What happened? And I said, and I just took a screenshot, and she officially made it onto WikiFeet. And I was just so proud of her. So proud. She was like, oh my God, stop. What's happening? What is this website? Why did you make this? I was like, I didn't make it. I just searched your name, which is even weirder.
AFC 230 in your chat says that's supposed to be Wikipedia for feet. Ew. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, it's literally that. And honestly, I'm pretty impressed with you, AFC, that you don't know that. That means you're one of the good ones. Good for you that you're unaware. Speaking of the chat, we do have some things going on in here. Just a couple of super chats. Let's get to. Larry Lee says, Roxy, you and your guests are the highlight of my day. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that because days can be weird right now. And being anybody's highlight, I will take it. Rob K
True.
says you're killing it with the guests. Great guests lately, Roxy.
Aw.
See, I didn't say great guests, and that was not giving you enough credit. Great guests. And also, we've got questions coming in the Streamlabs and the Patreon for Trisha. So let's get to some of them. I like this one coming from Matt Briselli, who says, would you rather have the ability to read people's minds or make two people fall in love?
Ooh. I think I want to make two people fall in love because then I would feel real good about myself for bringing people together and finding happiness. And also, like, no, reading people's minds could be a really bad thing. You don't want to know what everybody's thinking.
No, but I trust you with the power to make two people fall in love. I don't trust everybody with that power because it's a little bit of a Kilgrave situation going on there. Like you would have to make two people fall in love that you feel like genuinely would be in love.
Yeah, like they'd be a good match. They just haven't found each other yet. And then,
Yeah.
ta-da, you're in love now.
But if people knew you had that power, your friends would ask you to make, like, I don't know, Giselle fall in love with them or something.
No.
But you can't.
You can't abuse it.
And
No,
reading
and
people's
also,
minds, no.
reading people's minds would be cool if you could turn it off and on. It's very invasive. So, like, it definitely is. If you're more evil in alignment, then, like, reading people's minds could be extremely useful. But you would have to be able to turn it off. Otherwise, you'd go crazy.
Are you a Slytherin?
No.
Or are you a Gryffindor?
Neither.
You're a Ravenclaw? Huh. That kind of makes sense, actually.
I like that was your third guess, though, over Puff.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think that
You're Gryffindor, aren't you?
Here's the thing. For years and years, in every quiz, my things have gone back and forth between Slytherin and Gryffindor. Slytherin and Gryffindor.
They're close.
I identified as a Slytherin when I was younger, for sure, and
it's cooler. It's
because it's cooler. But I don't know. It depends on the year of my life. It depends on the year of my life. Wow, that's interesting about you. I didn't think about, but the Slytherin people, I don't think they should have either of these qualities. Ravenclaw, I would trust with either of these things. So
Ravenclaw is the flaw in Ravenclaw is borderline too analytical.
Yeah.
And not able to kind of see the whole picture if you're really just boiling it down to A plus B equals C, and and if A plus B equals C and all that kind of stuff.
I should have guessed that about you. My radar's off. It's because I'm in quarantine. No social interaction. It's awkward time. Going back into the Patreon, Glenn Caesar said, hi, Trisha. It's great to have you on the show. Who is your all-time favorite comic book character, and what's your favorite story arc surrounding that character? Are there any other story arcs that you'd recommend reading to help keep ourselves busy and entertained during quarantine?
Oh, man. What a question.
Multi-part question.
My favorite comic book story arc is not my favorite character. Those are different things. So my favorite comic book story arc is Lock and Key. The Lock and Key series is absolutely amazing. I think everybody should go for that ride. Do not go for the Netflix ride and call it a day.
Didn't you do a TV fights about Lock and Key back in the day?
Maybe. Yeah. Oh, probably, because they were like, which comic series should be made into a TV show? And I argued Lock and Key. Let me be clear. The Netflix Lock and Key is not what I was arguing for.
You don't
Sorry to everybody who likes it.
I didn't watch. What was wrong? What happened? Where'd they go off?
Sabrina the Teenage Witched it when it's actually a very, very much more Stephen King-esque dark horror. And I think that's probably what they had to do to get studio approval on it, because they were like, we can't make this really horrific story about children and expect it to have like wide mass appeal. So what if we focus on the magic elements and take away some of the horror and make it like, it's like spooky, like Sabrina the Teenage Witch is spooky, but it's not like really, really dark stuff that's going to make you upset and disturbed for days, which is where the comic is, in my opinion. And what
Chuck agrees with you. Chuck says, I second that. It wasn't nearly as dense or deep or emotional as the comic. Is that how you feel?
Yeah. I mean, when the reason that I like the comic so much, and it's interesting because I'm not someone that traditionally really likes horror. Like, I'm not a horror nut. I don't love horror movies. Um, but what I love so much about the comic is how it gave you the juxtaposition of like kids and fantasy and magical moments while at the same time having this incredibly real dark danger and horrible real world things happening. And to me, I liked that more because it was kind of like saying, like, even in this real world where horrible stuff happens, like in our very real world that we live in, where horrible things happen,
Exhibit
people get
A.
murdered by their family members, like horrible things
Mhm.
happen, there can still be magic and light and hope. And that's what the comic says to me by putting those two things together. And when the TV show takes out the horrible real world stuff, then it just
Mm.
becomes this like fluffy teen drama. And because they took out so much of the horror, they had to add in a lot more teen high school drama that didn't exist before as like filler because they couldn't fill it with the really dark stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so to me, it lost what made it so special in the Netflix series.
But it's your favorite arc in the comic books, but what about character? Who's your favorite character?
I really like Wonder Woman, but I really like Wonder Woman more so from, I think, how I would see her depicted in the cartoons that I watched growing up more so than comics specifically. I didn't get
Mm.
into reading comics until I was in college. So I don't have like the comic backlog or mental history that a lot of our friends have, Roxy, and probably that you have. You read comics, yeah?
Yeah, but it's kind of same thing. I read them when I was a kid. I read a lot of like Archie comics, but then I was really, really made fun of as a child, and I tried to do everything I could to be cool or whatever that
Mhm.
was, whatever you thought that was at the time. So it wasn't until college for me too, where I was like, I actually don't give a flying fuck what any of you guys think, and I like nerdy stuff, or I don't even know if the word is nerdy stuff. I like the stuff I like.
Right.
So same thing. Like I'm missing. So I have such a massive gap. I have like a 10, 15 year gap in things because I just was not like was trying to train myself to be liked. So yeah, I definitely but I do like comics a lot. But I also watched so much TV,
Mhm.
movies, and I have all different versions. Watched my brother play video games because I wasn't allowed to play. So.
Aw, I was the older sibling, so I was the one that played video games, and now my little sister blames me for never letting her play video games. She's like, "That's why I'm not good
Mm.
at games. It was your fault." I don't think that's true because I think if I had someone to play video games with, I would have been stoked.
That's what he
Um,
says. You guys are full of it. You didn't let us play, and when we tried to play, you farted on us. Be honest, Trisha. Be
well,
honest.
what's the age difference between you and your brother?
2 years.
Okay, me and my sister are 5 years.
Yeah, me and my
So like,
sister are 5. It's very different. 5 is very different than
so
2,
that's when
for
I'm like, I'm
sure.
sorry, if you were 3 and trying to steal my video game controller when I was 8, not cool.
Not
You don't get to
happening.
play. You can't play yet. But like,
Yes.
if she was 8 and I was 13 and she wanted to play with me, totally different story. But if I remember correctly, I was playing video games and she'd be like, I want to watch my show. Turn this off. I want to watch my show. Because, there was one TV.
Mhm.
So it wasn't like
And
she
that
wanted to
TV
play
was, like,
video games and
this
I wasn't.
thick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We
It weighed
finally
like 20 times as much as I did at the time.
the TV that we used growing up, we finally threw it out from my dad's house, last year, and it weighed, like, twice as it took multiple of us to carry it out. It was small and massive, like, at
Mhm.
the same time, if that makes any sense. Rest in
That's
peace to
awesome.
those TVs.
To
Going back
those
into the
TVs.
Going back into the super chat, Larry Lise, I love when you pimp out my stream. Thanks for reminding people to hit that like button. Appreciate it. It's always so nice when you guys do it, so I don't have to because I'm an awkward little duckling. Damn5271 says, "Hey, you kind of look like ScarJo."
You.
No,
Can't
you,
be me.
me.
That's my reaction.
I think you're. I see it in your face.
When I wear my glasses, it's funny. One of the shows that I shoot for Newegg, whenever I wear my glasses for them, their audience at first was like, "Oh, we got Mia Khalifa on this channel," and I was like, "I'll take it.
Uh,
I think she's super cute," but I don't know that
Absolutely.
without my glasses you would say that. I think it's just the shape of the glasses.
Who have you gotten for most of your life?
When I smile big, I get Daisy Ridley. because I do the squinty eye
I very much so
smile.
see that.
And who do I keep getting very recently? I'm gonna forget her name or say it wrong, but is it Linda Cardellini? Is that how you
Yeah,
pronounce
yeah.
it?
Mhm.
Yes, I get her sometimes, which I don't know that I see either. But who do
I
you
can
get?
see that too. You know, because of all of the change, like brown hair, blonde hair, back forth, it always depends. It really shouldn't make me look much different, but I think it does. Growing up, I got Drew Barrymore all the time,
Ooh, but your
which
face
was
isn't as round as Drew's.
it certainly
Oh,
was.
when you were younger.
But that was like to me the nicest thing anybody could say to me because I just think that she's so awesome.
She's awesome.
And then when I was in high school, I would get um, oh, speaking of names, I can't remember Meadow Soprano, whatever her name is that I
I know
can't
who you're
think of
talking
right
about.
now.
Yep, 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 yep,
Because
yep.
I went tanning twice a day, every day, and had like stick straight, dark brown hair. So
I
think
love it.
I looked very.
Have you done the me at 20 photo thing?
No, what's
On
that?
Instagram? Everyone on Instagram is posting hashtag me at 20 pictures of themselves when they were 20. And I realized, so I'm going to age myself a bit here, but when I was 20, selfies and social media weren't a thing. So all the pictures I have of me at 20 are like with my parents or
Yeah.
like my friends in college, or like I don't have that like angsty selfie of me at 20 to share on Instagram right now. In fact, just this morning I texted my mom and I was like, hey, can you find some pictures from like my junior year of college for this Instagram thing? So if I go through and I find any good ones, I'll post them on Instagram today. But I'm gonna have to
Did
like,
you look very different? I
I
feel
don't
like you've
think
looked the same
my face was
forever.
fatter. My face was fatter. If you go back and look at source fed footage and like pictures and stuff from then, my face is a lot rounder because I also had the Drew Barrymore very round face that as I've gotten older has thinned out a little bit. I like it better thinned out personally. But I actually had was it an agent? It was either an agent or a casting director when I first moved out to LA, was in my early 20s, say I can't cast, oh, it was an agent. Say I won't work with you because I think your face is going to look too wide on camera. He was like, it doesn't look too wide in real life, but camera lenses are angled, and I think it's going to look too wide on camera. But don't worry, when you get older and your face thins out, you'll work a lot more. And I was like,
Thank you for
and so
that.
I had just gotten LA in my early 20s.
Mhm.
And all my acting teachers from back in Pennsylvania were like, if you're not famous by the time you're 26, your career's over. So
Yep,
on one
heard
hand, I
that.
had, you have to get famous right now because you don't have a lot of time left. And then on the other hand, it's like, when you're older, you'll get cast. And I was like, this is the most confusing industry ever. It's the same time in your career, if anyone out here ever goes into the entertainment industry, that you hear, I can't get you work because you're not in the union yet. And then you get in the union and they're like, I can't get you work because all the work right now is non-union.
It
And it's
it
like,
it is the most infuriating.
it
I hear Wall Street is infuriating too, but I have to say, I think the entertain trying to like do something on a certain timeline because your body and your face and everything is changing, but then people telling you that the opposite of what you're being told is what you have to do. I've had very similar. I had an agent who told me that I was 15 pounds too heavy, and he wanted me to take a picture of me on a scale and a week later take a picture of me on that scale and see how quickly I could lose weight within a week.
That's heinous. I hope you did not work with that agent long
No, I didn't.
or at all.
I didn't work with him. I did go through with that. I didn't ever send it to him, but I was like, okay, I want to see how quickly. So I took the first picture, sent it to him, did a week full of, and I ended up traveling to Arizona during that time, and I was not eating. I was like, okay, I got to see how quickly I could lose weight,
No, I hate
and
this story.
it was awful. I was,
I
I don't know,
hate it.
19, and I went to a college football game, and afterwards I like passed out.
No,
And
I hate
and the
it.
guy that I was dating at the time was like, "What the hell?" And I was like, "I'm not eating right now. It's fine. It's just for this week." And he's like, "For a week?" And I was like, "It will be fine. I just have to prove." And then at the end of it, I didn't send him the other picture, even though I'd lost weight, because I was like, "Oh, this is like disgusting. This is
No,
really
screw
not
that
good."
guy. Screw that
Going
guy. The
back,
guy who told me my face was too fat, I never worked with him.
yeah, no, you can't because they don't believe in you.
Well, he was like, your face is too fat for me to represent. So he wasn't even offering to work with me. My
Right.
face was too fat. But he was like, it is all about connections though. And I'm going to a party at the Playboy Mansion tonight if you want to go. And so I'm like, did he just tell me my face is too fat and then kind of ask me on a date?
Yeah.
Because that's what this feels like.
That's
Gross.
ew, fucking ew, ew,
Yeah.
ew.
I think ew is the right answer.
Ooh. Oh, I hate it here
Needless to say,
sometimes.
I said no, thank you to
Uh,
the party invitation.
no, thank you. No, thank you. Eric Lane says, two awesome, hardworking ladies. You both work for tons of outlets despite dealing with all the BS. Keep up the great work. A fan of both of you. Thank you. Yeah, I work for the
Eric.
outlets where there's not the BS. So that's the goal. Appreciate you, Eric, for seeing us.
That is always the goal. When you work for an outlet where there's too much BS, you leave.
Yes, if you can. When you can.
When you can.
When you can. Stephen Summers says, one good thing about social distancing is being able to catch all of Trisha's live streams and PWR Up podcast episodes.
Thank you,
Big
Stephen.
love to you both. Power up, baby. Yeah, Trisha, what are the podcasts that you're doing right now? What is everything that I know there's so many things.
I'm inevitably going to forget something because every time I run this down, I forget something.
Yeah.
But let me try.
Mhm.
So for Kingston, I do a series called DIY in 5 that airs on their YouTube channel every Friday. And it's like very easy tech tips that can be from in fact, the one I'm recording today, spoiler alert, you'll know what's coming up, is cleaning your PC, not only like physically, but also like digitally cleaning out files and spring cleaning, but the PC version. So it's like easy tech tips for all different types of life or like phone photography tips, that kind of thing. So that's the series I do for Kingston that airs on every other Friday on Kingston.
That's the Ravenclaw on you for sure. It comes out.
Oh yeah. And then I do a lot of content for Newegg, which is PC building, and primarily like dissecting PC components and interviewing people from different manufacturers. I do a lot of, this is exciting to me. I don't know if it's exciting to everybody, but episodes that we call RTX Theater, which is showing the new real-time ray tracing that you can get using NVIDIA's RTX supercards, but in the video games that demo them well. So like I'll record in 1080p with RTX everything on ultra settings, what it looks like, and then turn ray tracing off and show what that looks like. So we can show like side-by-side comparisons. And then sometimes I'll interview people from the graphic card manufacturer to go along with those episodes. And that's what I do for Newegg.
Your face lit up when you were talking about that.
I know, I get so excited about it. It's stupid. This is why I get hired to like host a bunch of tech stuff, because I'm the one weirdo that like legitimately gets psyched about it. And then all the people who like have never seen me online before are like, fake, she's way too excited about graphics cards. And I'm like, sorry. Like this.
And if you weren't excited, if you're not excited, they say, why did you hire her? She clearly doesn't even care about this. Thank you,
I don't
internet.
know. Sometimes I feel like if I could be like cool chick, like very Daria-esque cool chick that has no opinion or care about anything, people would think I was a lot cooler. But it's not who I am. I get hyped about things, and that's who I've always been since I've been very young. So I'm not apologizing for it. I just make content, and people who want to watch the kind of content where I get excited about things that other people think are silly is great.
Totally.
So that's what I do for Newegg. And then I'm working with Fandom right now doing their Gaming Loop series, which is exciting. And that's voiceover only, but that airs, I think, on Fridays. And it's, gaming news all over Fandom and Wikipedia. So mutual friends there, Roxy. Maybe someday we'll get to work together again.
Yeah, this is our paths all the time.
All the time.
We did cross recently for Skybound thing, but usually it's like I go left, you go right. We meet up in the middle, but then diverge. One of these days. Which is why
I'm so happy you had me on this show.
I'm so happy you're here.
And yeah, so that's, and then for Caffeine, I host a D&D talk show called The Dungeon Rundown, and that's every Tuesday night live on caffeine.tv/The Dungeon Run. And it's the after show for their D&D show called The Dungeon Run, as well as just a kind of free format D&D talk show where we talk about news in the Dungeons and Dragons world. We talk about different ways you can play D&D online right now. And so those are most of the shows that I do for other people. As far as the kind of stuff that I do and produce, like just myself on my own stuff, is I do the Naked Truth every other week on my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start posting gaming highlight videos, I think, to my YouTube channel as well, because I really spend most of my online time on Twitch. So I'm over on twitch.tv/Trisha Hershberger 4 days a week, sometimes more. It depends on the week. But I have a kind of variety of shows that I do there. It's either Sundays or chill streams where I just play whatever I'm playing. Tuesdays are something I produce called the Gong Show, the Twitch Gong Show, which is an indie game highlight show. So basically, I play an indie game that isn't out yet. So it's the alpha or beta or preview build of the indie game.
And the audience, fancy, huh?
Yeah, right. And the audience gets to vote in real time using emote whether you think it's awesome as is or should be gonged. And if the game is gonged, we move on to the next game.
Oh, I love that.
Right. And
That's really fun.
If a game is a winner, then we play it for a 10-minute playthrough beyond when it wins. And then we move on to the next game. So I usually highlight 5 to 7 games per episode. And that's the show that I do on Tuesdays. And then Wednesdays are Wacky Wednesdays where I stream with friends. So Roxy, if you're ever free on a Wednesday afternoon, come
Girl, bring me on any and everything you want. I'm yours.
Okay, great. Yes, come play with me. That's
Wednesday. Or naked. I'll do whatever.
Then all of them. You should come on all of them.
Don't I love that out, guys. Jesus Christ.
And then on Fridays, I do Power Up. So PWR Up. The Power Up podcast, which is also released as a podcast, is a video cast initially on my Twitch channel on Fridays. And then it airs on Maud Garrett's Geek Bomb YouTube channel after that, in case you missed it live. And again, it's where all the normal podcasts are found. But Power Up, the PWR, is playing, watching, and reading. So it's myself and Maud Garrett, and we talk about recommendations for what we're playing, watching, and reading. And every other week is a guest episode where we have a guest on. Again, another thing that Roxy could come on for.
Yeah.
We just started doing that. So I think we just had our 3rd episode of that this past week.
That's awesome.
And then I just started.
Maud's the best, and you guys have such great chemistry. Awesome. Yeah,
we never worked together before.
I mean, in life, like you're just perfect. You're perfect for each other. You've never worked together?
No. So
that can't be right.
Right before she started.
Oh wow! I don't remember that being the timeline. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. I was full time at SourceFed from 2012 to 2015. And then I left in 2015, and Maud came on, I want to say a few weeks after I left.
Huh. Wow.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Crazy. It literally must have been a few weeks because it was such a close. They were bringing me in right around that time to do Super TV Showdown and like guest on different things. And so to me, you both worked there at the same time because it was so close. Wow, that's crazy.
No, and I was leaving to go to Defy. So like that's when I started doing more stuff with Screen Junkies.
Yes, you and I crossing paths.
Yeah, and then I know, right? Just barely missing each other. And then the only other thing that I'm doing right now, I was going to say Nerds with Kids is kind of still in the water right now. That was a channel I did with Ivan Van Norman and Lasercorn about like how you handle being a nerdy person and having this obsessive fandom culture love, but also trying to raise a tiny human. But since YouTube did their weird kids content rules, we decided to just we're not messing with it.
Oh gosh.
So we're not, but that does exist online if you want to see it. And recently I've been doing live streams for Amazon, which everyone's like, what? Like anytime I advertise it, people are like, wait, you can live stream on Amazon? You can live stream on Amazon.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like this weird thing. They had actually flown me to New York a couple times to host their studio production of Amazon Live. But
that's awesome. I'll love that for you.
It was super fun. Yeah. And it was talking gadgets, gadgets that are sold on Amazon. Although sometimes they'd be like, and this blender. I'm like, not a gadget. I understand you plug it in and it's electronic. That's not what I do. But I would do it. I'll do what they hire me to do. But I'm not
for that. I love blenders. I'll pop right in. Okay, and this is Roxy on my FaceTime because she loves blenders. How's this, Roxy?
She loves blenders. And so I knew that they had like influencers that streamed out of their houses, not just people that they flew to New York.
Yeah.
And so kind of when all this quarantine stuff was going down, they reached out and they were like, "Hey, do you want to like stream from your house for Amazon?" So I've been doing that the past couple of weeks, which is great because I was like, do you need me to like focus on specific products or anything? And they were like, no, if we sell it on Amazon, you can talk about it. We don't care what you talk about. So I just did one yesterday that was like
No way.
everything you need to play Dungeons and Dragons from your house. I did an Amazon live stream for that, and the week before that, I did geek fashion that you can buy on Amazon.
Wait,
And
that is awesome. You
right?
can literally do anything.
As long as they sell it on Amazon, then I can do anything. So that's what I've been doing. I only really like advertise it in my Discord because that's where my I feel like that's where my like closest community hangs out is on my Discord. So I'll like, especially the first one, I was like, guys, I'm super nervous. I don't even know if this is going to work, but I'm trying this thing for Amazon. Come on by. And luckily, people were very sweet and came by and chatted with me. And I think the first one I did was on like tech you need to set up your DIY home office, like because
I gotta watch that.
right. So that's been kind of fun too. But yeah,
Damn,
so
dude,
I have
someone's busy.
a lot of different stuff going on.
Well, I love to hear how busy you are during this time. But we have so many questions. I'm obsessed with everything coming in for Trisha right now. So let's get to some of these. Andrew Thomas, would you travel through time or walk through walls? Interesting question. What do you think?
Travel through time.
It was
I want to experience, not even no, I want to experience new things. Walking through walls, my first thought is like rob a bank. But I'm like, what am I really going to use walk through walls for? Probably nefarious activities.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I guess it kind of depends on the wall, but you're right.
I want to learn stuff.
You're completely right. I don't even know why I'm thinking about it.
I'm going to take a bite of sandwich. I apologize.
No, do it. Eat at whatever. I told you, casual stream. Paul Tutillo says, never miss a show of you both. You're my favorites. Oh, thank you. What is the first thing you will do when quarantine is over? First thing to do when quarantine is over, like see somebody, like see faces, I guess. I literally don't care where or what. I just socialize anywhere. What about you?
Throw a big party at my house, hopefully. I moved kind of far out of LA so that we could have more space and like a yard and space to entertain. And like in quarantine, it's so funny because like we got this house to have people over. So it's kind of sad. I'm going to make a video of this on my YouTube channel soon. But my husband and I finished a big project we've been working on for the house for a long time, like right before quarantine started. We built a medieval tavern in our house. We converted part of the garage into a speakeasy style that you enter through a hidden entrance medieval tavern in our house. No joke. We did that instead of fixing our kitchen, which looks like it's from the Golden Girls and has, no joke, a rust hole in the bottom of the sink. We decided instead to make a medieval tavern in our house.
Priorities, obviously.
Priorities. But yes, I want to have people over to see it. As Stephen Summer says, is the bar done? It is. Yes, it is done except for decor. We were hoping to get some really nice pieces at Comic-Con this year for decor, but that's not going to happen now. So I have like one blank wall. But other than that, the rest of it's done. And we built it to like have people over and it got finished right before quarantine. No, I would love to have people over or like schedule a day where everybody meets at the beach at the same time and have like a big beach party.
Those things, please. Thank you. I will attend any and everything I'm invited to. Speaking of film, loved Indigo, Roxy. Thank you, Larry Lease. Yeah, I did it was supposed to be a sizzle I shot in Nevada last year, but they put it out as a short recently on YouTube. You can check out my Instagram. I have a swipe up to it. Thank you. I appreciate the shout out.
Are you doing a bunch of acting now, Roxy?
During quarantine, I'm crying every day. It's part of my rehearsal process for life. No, I am. I'm working on it. So hopefully that's the goal. Katie Robinson says, is single quarantine getting to you at all? The longer this goes on, I'm starting to get nervous that I'll just like never touch a human again. Katie, I feel you, but that's not the case. You will. There will be a day in which you touch a human again. But yes, I think being by myself during quarantine definitely gets to me. And I think being with people during quarantine gets to people. Like we were talking about this before, Trisha, about like being a family person right now. I mean, you're on. You have to be legitimately doing something. Like when I want to just pass out on my couch for an hour because I'm so frustrated, I can just do that. You have to. So I think the pros and cons kind of both.
I do think it's a pros and cons thing because on one hand, I'm going crazy because I'm trying to produce the content that I'm being asked to produce and like When a company hires you for an 8-hour production day, they're expecting you to work an 8-hour production day. But
Yes.
like my husband is also lucky enough to still have a job and be working from home. And when they're paying him for an 8-hour day, they're expecting an 8-hour day. But then who watches our baby?
Yeah.
That's because we can't hire a nanny to
Potty
come over.
training, so
He
there's
is currently potty training. But yeah, I mean, I can't hire a nanny. I can't hire a sitter. So what my husband and I do is we tag off every hour. So one of us will work 8:30 to 9:30 and then watch him 9:30 to 10:30 and then work 10:30 to 11:30 and we decided to do it that way because then at least if any emails are coming in that we have to respond to, instead of not being able to get to it for 4 or 5 hours, we can at least respond within a 2-hour window. So we thought that was the best. But every night we look at, okay, how many Zoom meetings do you have? Or Trisha, when do you have to be live? And we try to divvy out our day. And sometimes there's conflicts and one of us has to do something with a potty training 3-year-old in the same room.
Oh my God.
And he's 3. So he's not, I can't like put him down with a TV or a tablet or anything or a coloring book and he'll occupy himself. That's not the case. He won't sit anywhere for 2 minutes without saying, Mama, 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 because he needs stuff. He wants me to play with him. He wants to talk to the people on the computer I'm talking to. My keyboard and mice light up, so he wants to be typing on them. Like my computer, my streaming rig that I built is all like unicorn RGB. It looks like Candyland to him. Like he can't be in my studio while I'm working. And at the same time, my husband's on Zoom calls with like 18 other people. And my son's like, I went poo poo on the potty. And it's just, it is what it is.
Response. This is the word that I keep thinking, dude. Like, dude. It's like the worst response. But all I'm thinking about your thing is like, dude, I would not be able to. That sounds unbelievable to me. Unbelievable.
Crazy. I mean, it's fine when I'm like Twitch streaming to my channel. Shout out to my Dragon Riders if anybody's watching this, because everybody there gets it. If Logan comes in, like I'll just be like, say what's up, buddy, and try to figure it out, throw up a BRB screen. But when I'm like doing a live interview for Newegg's channel, that's like me and the head of Intel's PR talking about their latest CPU check, I can't. That can't happen. Right, that can't happen.
Oh gosh.
And it's also like today, even when I had all this stuff going on for this Kingston shoot, Logan, my son, keeps walking in here and he's like, what's Mama doing? Mama, what are you doing? Work is closed. That's what he keeps saying because he knows it's Saturday. But
not for Mama, it's not.
Well, when we looked at it, I said to Nate, I said, would it be better for me to try to do the shoot next week, sometime Monday through Friday, or should I try to do it on a weekend so at least you're free to watch Logan, right, and then I would be more free when you're working at those other times. So that's how we decided to do it for that sake. But all my friends right now that are like, I'm sleeping until like 11.
No.
I don't even know what's going on. Like I get up at 6:45 every morning because that's when he gets up. And he goes to bed at 8, and usually I pass out. He goes to bed at 8. I pour myself a large glass of wine at 8:15, and then I usually am passed out by like 8:45 because I'm so exhausted from the day. Gosh. But on the other side of things, at least I know how lucky I am to be able to get little dude snuggles on the regular. Yeah. When you're living that single quarantine life, I can't even imagine. Like, I feel like I would have to like hug myself regularly.
Well, this is not a joke. I was reading the endorphins that are in your body. If you do this, it creates endorphins. So every day I go like this for like, not kidding, 15 minutes, because it's the same as being held by it's not obviously the same, but it's the same endorphins as being held by somebody, because you're feeling like you're held. So I don't even know if I gave you guys this tip, but I do this every single day. Every single day, I'll like put on Fleetwood Mac or something that I love, and like I'll light a candle and I'll lay down and I'll just kind of go like this, and on the fuzzy pillow or something, and it honestly helps. As lame as that sound. You mentioned your Dragon Riders. Garth McMurray in the Patreon said, so happy to have you here, Trish. Thanks again for a great HyperX headset you sent me. I hope some more loyal Dragon Riders join us today. Who are some of your favorite comic artists and writers? Some you would buy their comics sight unseen. You sent a headset?
Yes. So because I do so much work in the tech world, I get a lot of partnerships for my Twitch channel and for other stuff with hardware manufacturers who will give me stuff to give away. And what I do is I kind of save it up for charity streams. and then make it like milestone goals. Like if we raise $750, I'll send this headset. I'll raffle off this headset.
I'm obsessed with everything you do. I love that.
Yeah, if anybody needs new hardware,
is it hubby visiting?
Do I have what?
Is it your hubby visiting or is it your little dude visiting? What are we looking at? Who are we looking at?
Oh, nothing in particular. I was actually looking up to see what hardware I have to give away. I'm looking at my closet over there to see what I have. I have 2 cloud headsets. I have, what is that, a portable SSD? I think that's a portable SSD. I'm trying to see from all the way over here. But yeah, I was lucky enough to be able to give away 5 computers this year because Newegg partnered with my Twitch channel for a series, which was really cool.
Sorry, I didn't mean to hijack his question, though. He wanted to know favorite comic artists and writers that you would buy unseen. I don't know that I would buy anything unseen, honestly. Ask me.
I would love to see what's next from Joe Hill.
Yeah. Would you buy sight unseen?
No.
Yeah. Be smart.
No, I actually don't have that much time to read comics inside Little Man. The only reading I really do now is Audible when I'm stuck in LA traffic, and in quarantine I haven't been driving. So that's kind of all come to a pretty big halt, except for the books that I read Little Man, which he has like the ABCs of D&D and ABC 3PO and like a bunch of the nerdy kids book stuff. So I read a lot of those, but that's about it right now.
I love that. Alias in here said, if you had intro music, what song would it be and why? All right, so I think like you're walking into a room every time something plays. Interesting questions today, guys. I'm loving these.
I know. This is a fun question. What would my like intro music when I walk into a room be? I don't know. I feel like that's one that would take some deep thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, girls just want to have fun is too frivolous.
But something, I think for you, something upbeat, still upbeat. I'm trying to pick a song.
A song that makes me really happy.
Yeah.
King of Wishful Thinking, but it's a sad song. The lyrics are sad, but I like the tune.
All right. Well, good enough. Good enough. We'll think about more if we come up with any. We'll let you know.
Never Ending Story theme. That song makes me really happy.
That's very fitting. It's very good.
The Never Ending Story is what I'm going to go with.
All right. Good enough for now. Dark Faith. When is the Flirt and Flouse on the stream? Sorry, Rox. Christian is enabling us. So that's Brett Sheridan. He's coming on in a couple weeks. I don't understand his alter ego, the Flirt and Flouse. I do not know. It's some German man with a curly Q on his hair. Alter ego. It's fine. It is what it is. Draft House Games. My dear friends love Draft House Games. Roxy, stay safe, stay sane. Working on it, working on both the safe and sane part. I sleep with a very large knife next to my bed, so there is that. Don't try to mess with me, kids. Douglas Emmett says, hi, Roxy and Trisha. Just wondering, Trisha, if you have a favorite genre of movie, and if so, what are some of your favorites in that genre? Hopefully both of you are doing well and keeping safe through quarantine.
Favorite genre of movie? Probably fantasy. Favorites within that genre. I like the Lord of the Rings flicks a lot, obviously.
I love that you just called them flicks.
Lord
of the Rings flicks.
I like the Lord of the Rings flicks a lot, obviously. I really like stories with underdog protagonists. So if I could make that its own genre, I would.
I think the underdog genre. Great.
Is that it? Yeah, the underdog protagonist genre. So anything where like it seems like a tiny person against the world, which is why I like Tolkien and Lord of the Rings so much, and why I like Bilbo as a character. And even I would say The Hobbit, but those movies are not the best. But I like The Hobbit story better than the Lord of the Rings story. But anything where it's like a small, ordinary person that's tasked with doing something extraordinary. Those are the stories I like because I feel like in life that gives us hope. Because I think a lot of us feel like, what could I do? I'm just an everyday person. But in watching those stories, we realize that the everyday person can actually do a lot and can make a big difference and can change the world. So those are the stories that I like to watch. So with that, the Never Ending Story is a great one. from getting bullied and shoved in a dumpster at the beginning of the film to essentially saving imagination and storytelling. Harry Potter series is great too. He's just an orphan kid that lives under the stairs at the beginning and goes on to save the entire magical world as we know it.
It is so
Bilbo
sad.
Baggins.
Under every time that breaks my heart. Anybody who
Yeah.
it's hard.
Yeah. Any underdog protagonist, I am down with that story. Princess Bride. Yes, Star Drew.
It's the best. I love Princess Bride.
So good.
Going
So,
into
so good.
Streamlabs, thank you, Tomad, for your support. Billy Belford says, "Hey, ladies, what has been the thing that you have had to adjust to the most in quarantine? For me, I usually do nothing with my hair, but now it's so long I have to push it back so I can see. Here is some of my stimulus money. Love you both. You do keep rockin'." Oh, thank you. You rock, Billy Belford. So sweet. What's the thing you've had to adjust to most?
Being a full-time stay-at-home parent and a working parent at the same time. How about you?
Well, I mean, it depends on the time. Like, obviously, you guys on the stream know that Papa was in the hospital for a while, so that was like a massive adjustment of me. Usually, when he's in the hospital, I'm able to go there. Not being able to be there because of quarantine was really, really tough. But now that he's out and doing well, heck yeah. I think the not being active as much, like not being able to go to the gym or do any of the active things, and that's been a very strange adjustment. The work, every part's been strange. It's all very strange. Thank you, Billy, again. Alec Miller in here says, "Hey, Roxy, thanks for the awesome message you sent to me on Patreon. Trisha, how is the parent life treating you? Being a dad is my favorite thing in the world." Oh, that was really cute.
Oh, I mean, as much as people are hearing me kind of gripe and moan about it a lot now in quarantine,
I don't think
like
that's
I
what
said,
you're doing. You're not
okay,
griping
good.
and moaning. You're explaining what your days are like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and like I said earlier, like I know how lucky I am to get little dudes snuggles in the morning and at night and whenever I can sneak them in. And so that part of it has actually been nice that when I take a break from work, like I can go spend more time with him than I would normally get, and that's awesome. He's not always a peach to spend time around because he's 3, so it depends on his moods. But I mean, in general, how am I enjoying parenting life outside of quarantine? It's awesome. Like he is simultaneously my greatest adventure and my biggest challenge at the same time. So there are definitely days, and there have certainly been days when I'm like, I hate being a parent. I messed up my whole life. What have I done? And there are definitely days when I'm like, this is the best thing in the whole world. And it's just this wild roller coaster. But I always tell my friends who are on the fence about becoming parents, I'm not a person that's like, you should do it. It's the best. In some ways, yes, you should do it. It's the best. But also in other ways, this will completely upend your entire life and it's going to be really hard. So make sure that it's something you really want before you decide to go there. That's what I always tell my friends because I have a lot of friends in the entertainment industry and I'm not going to lie, it's really freaking hard.
Yeah, I can't
It's
imagine.
freaking hard when you do have childcare.
Yeah. I talked whenever I talk to you or Sasha Pearl Raver about doing both like the kick-ass work thing while doing the kick-ass mom thing every time I think to myself, oh boy, I need to make sure that this is what I need to really be set on this is what I want before I go for it because whew, whew.
And even if you're set on this is what I want, there's going to be days where you're like, what have I done?
Yeah.
I mean, there are. I remember
Oh.
so many days. I remember a day that I just cried in the shower for like a half an hour because I thought I had destroyed my life. Because I think I had gone to Geek and Sundry for a charity stream that morning, and I forget who the charity stream was for, but I was hosting the 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. part of the stream. It was like a 12 or 24 hour or something like that. But anyway, I had the early shift because they were like, she's got a newborn at home. She's used to getting up early. Thanks, everybody. So while I was used to not getting any sleep anyway, I came in for the early shift, but I woke up with like a fever of 102 or 103 because I had a breast infection because I was breastfeeding at the time. And yep. And I went to host this charity stream. And this was when he was like, little dude was like real little. So I was still recovering from delivery. It took me a long time to recover, more than most. But anyway, I hosted the thing with a breast infection. So I had like a crazy fever. My boob was on fire. And I had an accident on camera, live on camera,
Oh my
because
God.
my downstairs wasn't working properly at the time. And
Dude.
I went home from that shoot and just got in the shower and cried for like 45 minutes. I was like, I have 100% ruined my life. But those moments are real.
Yeah.
Those moments are real and they happen.
Talk about it because not enough people do. And then people like, I'm sure those are things you didn't know before, or even if maybe you did, but there's things a lot of people don't know. And I'd rather know what the possibilities are, what you're getting yourself into. Oh gosh. But I am jealous.
Yeah.
I'm jealous of the snuggles. I will say I'm jealous.
The snuggles are pretty epic. And like, there are definitely moments that he just cracks us both up. And, you know, there are tons of moments that make it worth it. Don't get me wrong. But there's also a lot of really hard, really
You're
real
honest. I'm not getting you wrong. You're honest. I get it.
moments.
I don't
There
get
are.
it. I hear you.
But yeah, that was the worst when that happened on camera, because I was like, am I gonna have to wear like adult diapers on camera for the rest of my life? Like when I host live content. Unfortunately, it's gotten a lot better since then.
But I have friends who
years.
I have friends who it takes years to stop having like accidents or a little bit. I don't envy that. I do not.
Mess. And then everyone on Instagram's like, how do you look so thin after having a baby? And I want to say, because I'm like going to the bathroom in my pants in public all the time. Maybe that's part of it.
I don't think that's why, but maybe.
But I'm like, you know, like we were saying in the beginning, like everyone kind of looks at everyone else's quarantine life or whatever and only sees the shiny, wonderful parts and doesn't see all the real moments.
It's like Instagram. It's literally like Instagram. This is me. Everything's great.
Yeah.
But really, what's happening?
Like I didn't like when people were like, "Oh my God, you're so skinny right away. I hate it." And I'm like, crapped my pants in public today. Let's, you don't want to even the playing field. Let's just even the playing field a little bit. Real life.
Everything about you is amazing. Just remember that.
Real life.
Steven Sommers says, Trisha, meet, marry, or become Tifa. Is that the Final Fantasy character? I don't play.
Tifa.
Oh.
Yeah, Tifa Lockhart. I would love to become Tifa Lockhart. I love her so much. I have been doing all of my Final Fantasy 7 streams dressed as Tifa in my Tifa cosplay. She is adorable and super badass. And hourglass
I wish
figure.
I was cool to play. I wish I knew. I don't know how to game. I just looked her up. She seems awesome. Look at her. Look, she's ripped. She's dope. I got to get on that life.
Great. Right. And she's also like so cute and so sweet. And then will kick a mech's butt with her bare hands. She's a boxer, so she doesn't even need a weapon.
I called her Tifa. What do I know? Nothing.
It's okay.
Garth McMurray says, so happy to have you here, Trish. Love seeing rock stars and dragon riders uniting. Question for both of you. What are your favorite meals to prepare while stuck in quarantine? Do you prepare something simple or something complicated? I love tacos. Tacos are great.
Tacos are great. I've made a lot of tacos.
Sometimes I just make the ground beef and call it a day. Just literally, okay, good enough. Spoon in your mouth. That's a taco for me. What is your favorite quarantine meal?
On days that I actually have time to cook, I am trying to like do new recipes, but I'm not a good cook. Like I'll just be straight with that. If I look at the recipe and it's like cook time and it's more than 40 minutes, you've surpassed what I am on board for.
Yeah,
if it's something that I can make in like under an hour, I'm willing to give it a go. But it's also really hard to get ingredients right now in Los Angeles.
Yes, I know.
So like I'll look up a recipe for like earlier this week, I looked up a recipe for meatloaf, right? And I was like, cool, I have like 80% of these ingredients. Should I try to make it and like sub things out?
That's what I do.
That's what I did, but then it was like burnt on the edges. And I think it's because the things I didn't have were onion and bell pepper. And I guess if I would have added those, maybe it would have had more liquid in there. So it wouldn't have been as crispy on the edges. But like, I don't know enough about cooking. I'm not a great cook to know that. I was just like, oh, I don't have bell peppers and onions. Maybe I'll like shave up some carrot in there. That's a
Good
veggie.
enough.
Done.
I feel like it was good enough.
It tasted good. It just didn't
Good
look
enough.
great.
Who cares? Close your eyes. It doesn't matter. If anybody's complaining about how it looks right now, I make a lot of pasta.
A lot of pasta.
A lot of pasta. I make a very easy, quick bolognese. That's great. So
Ooh.
that's a go-to for me. Also, I have big bags of frozen shrimp. So a lot of nights I do frozen shrimp and make it with literally I put lemon, olive oil, garlic powder, salt, and pepper, and it's delicious. And then I'll make like quick guac or avocado slices with it.
Oh my
So
God, that sounds amazing.
but takes me under 15 minutes because like I'm not dealing with it right now. Just no. So those are some things. And then I like your suggestion of tacos, always good.
Tacos is always good. The other one that I do that's pretty easy is I will buy like ground Italian sausage and
Ooh,
brown that up, and then just take a jar of already made spaghetti sauce and dump that in there and cook that with the sausage. So it kind of makes like a sausage bolognese-esque type
yes.
of thing, but the sausage juice and stuff like flavors the sauce, and then I just make pasta and put that
Do
together.
you ever use Rouse? That's my favorite of the tomato sauces.
How do you spell that?
Raos, Rouse. It's
I have not.
okay. That's the tomato sauce to get.
Okay.
It has no added sugar or anything like that. But I'm not. That's not even me. I eat tons of sugar. It's just so yummy. It's like got.
Okay.
It's the best. If you
I
can
will try it. My mom already is like disowning me for admitting on the internet that I use canned spaghetti sauce.
No, this is the best.
My own.
Glenn Caesar says, "Hey Roxy and Trisha, happy Saturday. Thanks for joining Roxy and virtually hanging out with us today, Trisha. Glad you're in the Rockstars band. If you each had to pick waffles, pancakes, or French toast, bacon, sausage, ham. All right, so first one, waffles, pancakes, or French toast. I'm picking pancakes. What are you?
Waffles or French toast.
Wow. Okay, good. Whenever we are at a buffet, I'll take one, you take the other.
We're good buddies, yeah.
Bacon, sausage, or ham? I'm going bacon.
Maybe ham.
I like this already. It's like when I like the red and orange Skittles and somebody likes the green and purple ones, and I'm like, oh, split in a bag.
We're best friends. Totally.
100% never losing you. Then he says, yet another great show. 2 thumbs up. You two rule. Thank you to Glenn in here. Also, Larry Lease says that he's got to run, but stay healthy. Working on it, trying to stay healthy. And then Trisha, I know I have to let you go, but before I do, a couple quick things. We didn't even talk about the birthday party thing, guys. A lot of you guys have been asking me what to do if your birthday is coming right now, how you celebrate in quarantine. Kourtney Kardashian today had an entire motorcade of is that what it's called? Motorcade?
Drive by. I've been calling them drive-bys, but yeah.
Drive by of all of her family, sister, friends, all celebrating. Woo, woo, woo. What do you think, Trisha? What are the best? How do you celebrate?
Everyone I know is having Zoom birthdays right now.
Yeah, Zoom birthdays are big.
Lots of Zoom birthdays. Drive-bys are so fun. I think that's really cute. We haven't done any yet, but I think it's a super cute idea. I had friends that did that for their parents' anniversary. So they had like, I think she has 2 other siblings, so it's 3 kids total, and they each piled their families in their respective cars and drove by to say happy anniversary and stuff, which is really cute. My grandmom recently turned 103. I tweeted this out. And her senior community that she lives in, since none of them can like go visit each other and no one can come in and visit, the people who work at the community like decorated this whole outdoor walkway that said like happy 103rd and all, grandma and all this stuff, and took her picture with it, and it like made the local paper because she's the oldest person in her area.
103?
103.
Damn, dude.
Grandma Hershberger is killing it.
Get it.
And she's still like super spry, and like she has a walker that they told her she has to use, but she carries it. She doesn't use it. She like holds it up and carries it while she walks. And she's like, they told me I need to bring it with me. Yeah, she's clear.
I love that.
Lady.
So those are some ways, guys. If you have a birthday right now and you're of age, wine. Try to find a good food. Like video conference. If you're doing the drive-by thing, get gas first. I've been seeing some people are forgetting to get gas right now, just slipping their mind. You don't want to take up resources that people need. You don't want to have people drive to you unnecessarily. So just make sure you are safe. And yeah, to try to call your friends, try to remember their birthdays. That's the most important part. I have a friend it's her 30th birthday today. Not an ideal situation for a 30th birthday, but like,
No.
if she's getting love all day, calls, text messages, that will make her feel better. So try to remember them. And that's all the time we have for today. Trisha, I don't want to let you go, but I have to. But
I
hopefully I'll see you
know.
soon. Either again with or without my clothes on. We
Yes,
don't know.
yes.
One of the two ways.
So, dude, if you want to be, when's my next Naked Truth is next Saturday. Oh, but it's the same time you do this. Don't you
Oh,
do this always on Saturdays?
yeah, I do it
Maybe I
every
can, maybe I can do a special time. So you're live from what, 1 to 2?
day. 2:15, yeah, 1 to 2:15.
Okay, let me think about it because if you are free next Saturday, I could either do it like a little earlier or a little later than normal. Let me talk to the husbando and see how we can split up childcare. But if I can
That would
make
be
it work,
so
I'd love to have you on next Saturday.
That would be amazing. I know you already talked about all of the incredible things you're doing, but just one more time where they can find you, what they can find you on, how people here can go be fans of yours, although I'm sure they are already.
Thank you. Yeah, a bunch of lovely rock stars popped into my Twitch stream to be like, "You need to be on Roxy's
I love
show,"
that. Go
and I was
Roxy.
like, "Dude, you don't have to convince me at all. Like, I am there."
Give
So
me the
thank you to
cutest email.
everyone.
I was like, yes, yes, we got her, guys.
Thank you to everyone who made that happen. You guys are rock stars, literally. But anyway, yeah, if you want to follow me, you can do that at that girl Trish, like it says right down there, but with no I in the girl. It's that GRL Trish. And that is on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And then Trisha Hershberger, my whole name, there on YouTube and Twitch. And then because there's so many different things going on all the time that I can't even remember them, the easiest way to know what's going on is on the Discord, which I think if you go to my YouTube channel, the Discord invite is linked there all the time in the about section of everything. But other than that, sometimes I tweet when I'm live. Sometimes I do Instagram stories when I'm live. Roxy and I were just talking about this. Like, how do you tell people you're live without getting annoying? Because I don't want my Twitter feed to just be like 3 to 4 posts a day of, hey, I'm live here now. Hey, I'm
It's
live here
literally
now.
what
Hey,
mine
I'm
has
live here
become.
now.
So annoying. I feel so bad. I'm just like, click here, click here, click here. My face is here. Ugh.
Right, exactly. So if people want to know when you're live all the time, I feel like a Patreon or a Discord or something like that is a really great way to know where all that is, as opposed to having to rely on your other social media platforms. But that being said, I do occasionally on those platforms push to the other stuff that I'm doing. It's just not super reliable.
I think everything you do is reliable and perfect. I've said it a million times, but you are the absolute best. You guys know, so that we all feel together in this. Everybody legitimately take your hands, clap for Trisha Hershberger at home. Woo!
Roxy, thank you for having me. This was so much fun and such a nice. I was joking with Roxy that I am on my lunch break from my Kingston shoot day to be here today, and this was such a lovely way to spend my lunch break. So thank you.
I'm sorry you didn't get to eat more. You're like trying to on the side. I told you, just eat. Get at it, girl. Get at it. Well, we'll let you go so that you can do that, guys. Don't forget tomorrow. I've got Jen Sturger joining me on the show. So get your questions in now. Streamlabs, Patreon, all that great stuff. And we'll see you tomorrow, 1 p.m. live at the Roxy. Thank you to Trisha. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.